Well, good evening, everybody. It is Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead. Yay! Actually, you know what? I've got
no,
something.
but I know his cousin who.
I do know his cousin who. I found something and I made it work. So we got to start out the show with a bang. Yay! The explosions are back. Welcome to the Big Family Homestead. I am Brad, like I said.
And I'm Christa. Hopefully we didn't just blow your eardrums out.
I don't think so. I turned the music down, so.
Okay, good.
Hopefully you guys are having an amazing night. Tonight, our main topic is going to be one that I think a lot of people will benefit from.
Especially me.
Staying motivated.
Yeah.
Getting those things done in your life where you're just like, I don't want to do it. Or starting a business, or getting a little extra income, or motivating your children. We're going to talk about all those things. But before we do, you need to say hi to everybody, Mama. So
hi, everybody.
Mark is set, go.
All right, let's see. Let's go back a little bit here. Out West Homestead, Alicia, Cindy, Donnie, Jada, Phoebe Long, and Janie Miller. I got the two mixed up. Life of Nina, Scott M., Franklin, North Carolina. Life of Nina, Alicia, Phoebe, Millie, Donnie, the Adaptive Maritimer, Thrifty VG, Steve Gunink. See, I got it right.
You got his name right.
Dan, Old Glory Farm.
Old Glory Farm.
How's it
We're
going?
going to talk about them a little bit tonight.
Yes. Two Wild Onions Homestead and Mary Brown. How's everybody doing?
Welcome to everybody. Mm-hmm. If you're unaware, this is a community of people that are just super cool, and we're all learning to kind of get to know each other. So if you feel like you can maybe share your general location, maybe not don't give your personal address or anything like that, but throughout the night, if you feel like, hey, I'm from so-and-so.
No, we need address, social security number.
No.
Just teasing.
But if you feel like you can share something like that, you might end up meeting some people that are really cool, like-minded folks. Mm-hmm. So just a word to that this is a community where you guys interact with each other. And part of the deal is that you are interacting. Don't just sit back and watch. Get involved in the conversation, and it's a lot more fun, and it's a lot better for the whole. Mm-hmm. So let's recap a few things that have been going on before we jump on into the main topic, Mama.
Well, we did quite a bit of yard work yesterday. No, not yesterday.
3 days ago.
Friday?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the grass is already almost 6-8 inches tall.
Yeah, it was really funny because Brad cut one side, I cut the other side. And we cut down, there was no dandelions. The entire back, I haven't looked at the front yard.
Oh, it's
the entire backyard, tons of dandelions have just popped out of the ground. Yep. It was really, really cool. I love dandelions. We'll never spray for them. I will pick their green leaves and eat them right off the grass. So they're tasty. Yeah,
and what's funny is just that the next day, we cut the grass on Friday, and the very next day there were 3-inch dandelions.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the morning.
Yeah, just crazy.
Whatever's in that soil, something's going on good.
Right. And then Saturday, what is today?
Today is Monday.
Goodness gracious. I don't even know what day it is.
There?
So, no, I was going to say we went, we had a few days in the last month of several bad festivals.
We just had, the rain has been weird here. It's been like torrential and then stops. Mm-hmm. Torrential and then it stops.
Yeah.
And so some people that were organizing the different local festivals, they basically freaked out. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them canceled last second, didn't really tell anybody.
Yeah.
And it was just like, surprise.
Right.
Or vendors wouldn't show up, Yeah. And I had
really
probably the worst street taco of my life.
I was going to say, those were
bad.
Really lackluster.
Bad.
They were awful. I mean, how many times have I made street tacos?
Probably
2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I think the 2 or 3 times have been better than those. And I don't know how to make street tacos.
Does anybody out there know how to make authentic, awesome street tacos?
Well, and we need people from down south.
Or somebody who can mail them to us.
Right,
we want street tacos mailed to the Big Family Homestead. Right. I'll pay for the overnighting if they're good. Mm-hmm. So, other stuff. We did have some great experiences, though. We'll talk about those in a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've had some really bad festivals, and then we had an amazing one we went to yesterday.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
And I got to do something super cool, but we're not telling because it's going to be in a video tomorrow.
You'll just have to wait until tomorrow to see.
It's going to be in a video tomorrow.
But I can't say what kind of festival it was.
We're going to talk about it later.
Okay, good.
We'll talk about it later.
Good.
Our chicks, we got 60 meat birds.
We did.
They are cute, and they're healthy, and everybody's cheaping around.
We haven't lost a single one yet.
Knock on wood.
That's not wood.
Knock on wood.
This is over here. Anyway, 60 Cornish cross chicks that we got from our local co-op here. I got I think a really fair price. I've never paid this cheap of a price before. Cheap, haha, get it? So I was pretty happy about the price that we got. And so far, all of them are doing well and growing and...
Well, and that's the thing.
So.
You'll find out. We've talked in other videos on different ways you can save a ton of money on food by raising your own food. And not only are you going to save a ton of money, you also are going to eat a better product and a healthier product, and you're also in turn going to be helping out those animals.
Exactly.
Because mechanized mega farming is not friendly to the animals. If you're wondering what really goes down, look at Food Inc.
Oh my gosh!
It's a documentary video, and you know what's funny is that somebody made mention that we went completely the wrong direction that they intended on Food Inc. They were showing all this gross mechanized farming in an effort to make people to become vegetarians and vegans,
right.
And instead we're like, no way. Now we're just raising our own chickens and beef and pork.
Right, exactly. We're gonna raise it ourselves. That way we know what our animals are eating. You know, our pigs, they're kept in a stall because we don't have an outside area for them right now. But we go and give them grass clippings just about every day. They get our milk that we can't use because
Macy's giving so much.
we're getting over 6 gallons of milk a day, guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I
And
can't.
you can't make that much cheese.
Or
and you can't-
yogurt. Yeah. It's anyhow. So they're getting the extra milk. They get the whey after we make cheese and yogurt. The chickens can only drink so much milk. You know, they're gonna turn into milk chicks.
Our
I
eggs
don't
are
know.
fabulous, though.
Oh, the eggs
Super,
are great.
super orange yolks and big, and just they. You know, I don't know how to describe it to you from a store-bought egg to the taste of one of our eggs. It's completely different.
Yeah.
If you're an audio person, it would be like going from cassette to CD. It's like you're all of a sudden hearing things that you never heard before. Like,
Right.
whoa,
Right.
did you hear that? Dark Side of the Moon, it had that on there? Yeah, it had that on there.
Yep.
And so, not only that, but they looked weird. Like store-bought eggs are kind of like slippery, runny, like...
Well, and the yolks are a very pale yellow.
Yeah.
Where our yolks are a very dark orange. So...
Hold on one second. I'm seeing Armed American Patriot. He's got a very important message, and that is this. That one's for you, bro. That one's for you.
So...
Continue on.
No idea where I was going with that. Miss T says, have I tried making cottage cheese? I have not.
I love cottage cheese.
I think you and just a couple of the kids really like cottage cheese. I have not gotten the hang of that. Or have not tried that yet. And speaking of cheese, I had an absolute mozzarella fail yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, the day before. I don't even know what. No, it was the day before. Saturday.
What is Scott talking about? For real, they have not said a word yet. Not their fault. But this community seems pretty exclusive. What?
Huh?
Are you talking about us? Because I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Anyway,
You mean Scott? Who
it says Scott Rennie. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. It must be a conversation among other people. However, yes, double yolks, my armed American friend there. Yeah, we get even triple yolks sometimes. Sometimes the eggs are so big that they won't even fit in the egg cartons.
Yeah.
They just won't.
They're huge. I know it. So we have to keep those aside, and we'll use those, and we'll give away the rest of our eggs to neighbors and our local food pantry.
And we're trying to actually reach out to some of our neighbors, because legally you can't sell milk here. You can't sell it, but you can give it away.
Right.
We're McLendon Homestead right now. We're good with mods, so thank you very much. If we need you, we'll ask. Thank you very much.
Yep.
So, other things that are going on around the farm. Straw bales, the straw bale garden.
Yep. We set up 6 straw bales for a straw bale garden just to try it out this year, see how it would work. We got them for free from our farmer friend.
And I think, by the way, our farmer friend, we've been kind of trying to figure out a name for like a title. And right now, I think they're going with the Markinator. The Markinator. He's pretty rad. We like him, Mark, and he's. No, you don't like Markinator? I was just looking at the comment sections.
Okay. We can go with that.
Markinator. So.
So yeah, we started that. We started, putting some organic fertilizer on there. And so we're working on it. It takes about 12 days from start to finish, and then on day 12 we can start planting our plants, and we'll hopefully get to show you how we're doing.
Okay, and Alicia's asking, what are we putting in the straw bales? I know that you desire to put in some tomatoes. I desire to take at least one of the bales and put in peppers.
That's fine. We can do that. Yeah.
Because I think it'll work well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. So couple things with our boys.
Our actual boys.
Our
actual boys. Stuff that's going on, yeah.
Our son David is, if you guys could please pray for him these next 2 weeks. He is in the field training for the next 2 weeks. So he is away from home and has no contact with his wife or us. Yeah. So just pray for that everybody stays safe.
She's pregnant, and
yes,
and it's her first pregnancy, and it's difficult for mom and dad to get to them.
Right.
Yeah, and it's pretty impossible for us to get over there.
Right. So yeah, I mean, well, her parents are relatively close, and they just got their passports. They're from Canada, so they just got their passports, and so they can get over there faster than we can.
Yeah.
So just pray for him. Make sure everybody's safe. And then
Jonathan, he's in basic training.
Yes, he is in basic training. We're super happy that he's doing well. This is his 2nd week of actual basic training.
Not actual basic training. Yes. He was in processing for several days.
Right, but this is the beginning, of his 2nd week.
Okay.
Yeah. So
a couple questions. Let's go back to the milk here for a second, because I know there's a delay between when you guys see what we see. Try not to touch that because there's a touch screen.
Oh, I totally
and it'll
forgot.
Mess everything up.
You want to...
I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, don't touchy, no touchy. Because what happens is, this is a touch screen laptop, which I actually hate.
Yeah.
But it's a touchscreen laptop, and with all these buttons and controls, she could just accidentally shut the stream off.
That would be fun. Let's try. No.
Or all of a sudden it would be like explosions.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
Right.
So the milk. Steve Ganink.
Yes, I said that.
No, I said it right this time.
Oh, okay. I see.
He was making mention that sometimes you can kind of set up basically a herd share. Now, some states allow what's called a herd share, and some do not. The reason, and I'll explain what it is in a second, but the reason why we don't want to do it is headache, hassle, unbelievable, and for only one cow, it would not make enough money to do anything. We'd lose money on it.
It's. I would rather just give it to my animals.
Or our friends if they want it.
We can't. Yeah,
if they want it, they can.
Right.
It happens to be on the counter, and it just goes away. I don't know what's going on. Somebody came in and stole our milk. But a herd share is basically in states that it's kind of like a loophole, to be honest.
Right.
The way it works is you'll have a farmer that is farming his milk cows, and you, the consumer, can purchase a portion of the herd.
Right.
That
You're buying
way,
shares in the herd.
right, I was going there.
Okay.
So then what happens is it's just like the stock market in that you own a small share of that company. Well, you own a small share of that herd, thus you are legally allowed the benefit of that milk from that animal.
Right.
And then you get X amount per month
Right.
for X amount of fees.
Right. For however many shares you have. Like when we were in a herd share in Ohio, and we had one share for our family. So for every share that we had, well, the one, we were allowed 1 gallon of milk per month or per week of the month. So if there's 4 weeks, you get 4 gallons. If there's 5 weeks, you get 5 gallons. But then there's a small fee on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's really not worth doing with 1 cow.
Right. And I'll tell you what, the farmer that we were getting our milk through the herd share program was, what a hassle, and the paperwork they have to go through and the hounding they get from government agencies is, in my opinion, it would not be worth it. It would just not be worth it. I mean, he needed the milk because he and his wife had severe medical issues, and that raw milk was healing their bodies.
Exactly.
Which is like, then it's like you don't put a price tag on that.
Right.
You just do it.
Right.
So the herd share is that. And also, let me scroll back here. There was a question about, does the raw milk have lactase? I'm lactose intolerant.
Raw milk does have lactase, which your body needs to process it. When the raw milk is pasteurized, that lactase is cooked out, and then you can't digest the milk. So if you have access to raw milk, you can drink raw milk. When our friends from This Is How We Rock were here, every time she drinks processed milk, she breaks out with severe acne. And she's in her mid-30s, so it's 30, you get all this acne. So when she was here, she had raw ice cream, she had raw cheese, and she had raw milk. And she didn't have any issues with it in any way. Now, we're starting to figure out that Claire might be lactose intolerant, because whenever she eats processed ice cream or processed milk products, she has severe gut problems, and she actually even vomits. So, but then when she drinks the raw milk and the raw ice cream, not a problem.
So technically, she's not lactose intolerant. She's processed, ultra pasteurized intolerant.
Exactly.
Because that's what they do, guys. Right. I mean, I don't know if you know, but okay, this is going to be kind of gross, and I'm sorry, but when you milk a cow on an industrial scale, sometimes accidents happen. Poop might get into the milk tube. There's other things that might, like, cows get mastitis. That gets milked right into the big tank with everything else mixed right in. Sometimes scabs, sometimes dirt, sometimes whatever the cow's sick.
Okay.
Hold on. Goes into the big vat. That's the reason why they do the ultra pasteurization, because they can kill everything that was bad in there. Well, in that process, it's killing all the stuff that was good for you.
Yep.
So they're going, all right, safety, total safety with no health benefit at all.
Right. Okay, I have to ask. Scott Rennie is mentioning something about cottage. Where did it go? Cottage laws. He said some states have cottage laws.
I don't know what cottage laws are.
Yeah, if you could kind of elaborate on that, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not, I can look it up later, but I guess in Kentucky.
And every state is different when it comes to the milk, guys. And every state is different when it comes to selling food and what they even deem food is. Like, there's some things, like, you can sell spices without a problem. As a matter of fact, we're going to be selling a blend of Christa's Sasson, something special, very soon. We're working on it.
Yes.
But that you can sell. There's other things, but you just got to know the laws in your state. Yeah. You got to know the laws in your state.
Right. And there's one particular website that you can go to. I think it's called realmilk.com. However, and you can find out all of the laws. However, please check your actual state's GOV website, because that website doesn't get updated as much as these laws are changing.
Yeah.
Because on that website, it shows that farm sales are legal in Wisconsin.
They're not.
They are not anymore. So,
well, and here's a good example. We're pro Second Amendment people. Mm-hmm. We both have concealed carry permits, and we carry pretty much all the time. Well, when Jonathan and David's now wife had an accident on our ATV last year, Jonathan, who was open carrying a gun, mm-hmm. and they were taking care of, like, the paramedics were there, the police officers were there. They were totally cool, totally professional. They were taking care of Brooklyn. Right. And then when everything was kind of said and done, as things were going, I said, Jonathan, you need to give me that gun right now.
Right.
Because I got it and I put it in the vehicle because I knew that the police officer had seen it, but I didn't want it to be an issue.
Well, and David was getting in the ambulance to go off to the hospital, so we needed to take that.
And he saw what I was doing. I let him see what I was doing. I was removing it from the situation. Right. I figured we'd talk about it afterwards. Well, here's the point. Concealed carry law changes a lot. And open carry, what age you can open carry. We specifically asked that police officer what the age was mm-hmm. for open carry and concealed carry in Wisconsin. He said, blah. We went and checked the gun lobbyist mm-hmm. website that's connected with the NRA, and it said, blah. That did not match up with the police officer said. So I was like, okay, scratch my head. Then I went and tried to find it on the .gov, and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
It just was not on. It was not on Wisconsin.gov.
Couldn't find it anywhere.
And so then we ended up talking with a person who manages a gun store, mm-hmm. and he said, "No, the police officer was wrong. This is what's right."
Right. And he knows the laws in this state forwards and backwards because he has to know the law, because if he didn't, he could get in serious trouble in his store if he sold to somebody who wasn't the right age
or whatever.
Right.
But the point is not going down the Glock 19 Gen 4, just saying, route.
I'm sorry, I like my SIG 365 a lot.
So do I. We both have them. But anyway,
a lot, actually.
The point is not that. The point is that these laws change, and the problem is ignorance of the law can still get you in trouble. Mm-hmm. Even if the cop was wrong. Let's say that the cop said, I'm sorry, you can't have that, you're going to be arrested now. What if he was wrong? His what he said was compliance did not line up with the .gov site. So anyway, the point, going back to food law.
Well, and that's that is very frustrating if you are obeying the law that you have read on the government's website, and then a police officer comes and causes a problem.
You still have to do what he says.
Because he doesn't know the law.
You still have to do what he says.
Isn't he working for the law and should know the laws?
He should. However, in that situation, unfortunately, you do what the cop says, you comply, and then you fight it later.
Yes, I totally understand that.
Or else you're going to get in a world of hurt.
Oh, okay. So, I wanted to go back to the cottage laws.
Food laws.
Scott Rennie says, and thank you for clarifying, I appreciate that. To keep it simple, a cottage law allows you to sell food from your own farm. Not that simple, but that is the way it's supposed to work. Okay, I see. We'll have to check to see.
I don't know if Wisconsin does that.
I'll have to do some research.
Because that would be cool. Because then we could, sell produce that we grow. We could sell. I mean, milk would be great.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Right.
Shoot. So anyway, other stuff going on this week. We've been working like crazy on fixing the issues with our cookbook.
With the old cookbook, I'm trying to edit that one so that
we had a few spots where the temperatures were wrong or not existent.
Spots. Yeah, I'm so frustrated with myself, but I'm going to edit this current cookbook, and then I'm going to email those of you who have purchased the cookbook.
You'll get the update.
The update.
Yes.
So, and we've also spent the day working on our new cookbook.
Yep, and what it is basically every time we'd open up our cookbook, the one that we started with, they are classics that we love. We were like, we didn't put that one in?
Why didn't we put this
Why
in
didn't we
here?
put this one in?
There's so many of them.
And we're ending up with over 120 new recipes, and we're like, oh my gosh, these are all good. I can't believe we left this one out.
Right, so we're about 3/4 of the way done. And I'm doing some final edits on a few of the different recipes and going through it with a fine-tooth comb, so I don't have to redo and make an edit next time.
Right.
So anyway,
other stuff. Yeah, that should be done soon.
That.
Let's see, what about that? Did we talk about that?
I talked about the cheese fail.
Okay. Now, what we did yesterday. Yesterday was so much fun, and there's going to be a video coming out tomorrow that shows the whole thing. First of all, Old Glory Farm.
They're here today.
This was the coolest dang thing, and these are the coolest people. I got to be honest with you. We get to this event, and we don't know if this is going to be another stupid event like the ones that have been canceling on us.
Yeah.
And we're like, because we've never been, this was a Civil War reenactment, okay? And we've never been to one, and the only things we've ever known about them is whatever we see on YouTube or whatever. And so we were like, is this going to be a bunch of weird people? Are you just playing pretend? And so we just kind of were like going with this, well, let's wait and see what's going to happen.
We've never been to one of these before. Did you already say what it was?
It's a Civil War reenactment.
I was typing up a response for a second. My eye is twitching like crazy. Anyway, so the Civil War, we had just gotten there and we didn't know what to expect.
We come out of this train, and then a guy I'm looking at all this stuff in his tents, and there's fire cooking, and this guy who's in a Union uniform comes up and he goes, I know you. It's like, are you kidding me? And then we start talking, and he's just a super cool, super nice guy.
Yeah, and then we got to meet his wife, Peggy. And their kids were fantastic. They are just an awesome family.
Yeah, so. And I just started asking them questions because I was super curious about what this whole thing was. And it is a lot of fun.
Yes, it was a blast. Our kids loved it. The place where it was at was in Matonawoc, right? Did I say that right?
I don't remember.
Matonawoc,
I think. Near Green Bay. Look it up.
Yes, it's near Green Bay, right on the lake. Well, not right on the lake, but a few miles from the lake. And they have the historical museum there in that area. Is laid out just absolutely gorgeous. It is this beautiful little village. They've moved in these. There's a home, homes and churches and all of these different buildings that were going to be torn down and destroyed, and they've made this historical village. It's really, really neat. There's an apothecary.
Yeah. And then the Civil War reenactment people, they kind of came in and populated the whole place to make it like a village during the 1800s. And one of the neat things, there was horses, and we'll talk about the battle later, because the battle was really cool.
It was really neat.
But one of the things I found that was super neat about it was every single person I met was willing to just open up and talk about who they were in the period, what they did.
Yep.
They were all very knowledgeable.
Yes. And
just super engaging.
Yes. Me and the kids were in the apothecary, and the doctor that was there was telling us this story of the man who invented prosthetics.
Yeah, they had a fake arm in there.
It was
cut off one.
Cut off one, yeah. And he just went through, if you got shot in this general area, you were just left to die. If you got shot in the arm or the leg, it was cut off and you were given medicine and sat by a tree to either
heal up or
die. So it was kind of graphic a little bit, but it was educational.
Super
because,
interesting.
And the doctors that were performing all of these surgeries, sawing off of arms and legs and didn't wash between. There was so much bacteria going from one patient to another patient, and the only time they'd wash their hands is if their hands were too slippery to hold the tools, is what he said.
Oh, yuck.
But then, it was bad taste for a Union soldier to operate on a Confederate soldier in any way. They just left them to die.
So enemies were just you're on your own.
Right. So I can't remember which way it was, but the Union soldier operated on a Confederate soldier, and they put him upstairs in this room, and he recovered. Well, usually you get this little stump of a leg. Well, when he recovered, he came down bending his leg. He had been up there in that room creating a prosthetic. And then he became the man who invented the company that made the prosthetics. And it's still in existence today. So I thought this is really neat. So anyway.
Well, yeah, but just continuing on, I was expecting it to be just a collection of odd people. And it really was not.
No.
It was every person that I met had a different occupation in their day to day. Met farmers, met bankers, met plumbers, met electricians, folks that are school teachers. It was crazy. It was just an interesting connection. But now, the pièce de résistance.
You want to tell?
No, I'm not going to tell.
Okay.
But tomorrow, I got to do something because of Eric at Old Glory Farm. He pulled some strings for me, and I got to do something that you're going to have to see at the end of the video tomorrow.
It's so cool.
However, the battle. This is really neat. They had a bunch of cannons lined up on both sides.
Yeah.
They had different moves, and they had to connect together. It was choreographed.
Yes, totally.
And
they had mounted cavalry.
Cavalry. Not cavalry.
Forget it.
Whole different subject.
I know.
Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Yeah. And of course the muskets and everything just looked really neat, and they were very professional about it. And I was wanting to tell you. In the video tomorrow, I'm going to put up some links, some connections. They're always in the process of recruiting new people to come into their groups. And they need people to come in and fill in spots so that they can continue to do what they're doing and grow and do bigger battles. And so historically, this was a win. It was fun. It was educational and exciting. And so you, Old Glory Farm, we have appreciated it greatly.
Yes, we have. Thank you very much.
And so if you happen to be watching and you appreciate what Old Glory Farm has done, you might want to go over there and subscribe to their channel. They would probably appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They'd probably appreciate that. So, okay, on to the topic at hand now that we're over a half hour in.
Oh, goodness.
Staying motivated. Oh, my gracious. Sometimes not easy to stay motivated.
No, it's really not. When you stay up late at night and you have to get up early in the morning, you don't want to get up early in the morning. That's me right now, honestly. These last few weeks since we stopped doing school, I have zero motivation to get up early in any way.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I kind of wanted to drill into a lot of people, a lot of the comments we'll get in the videos, people will say, I can't do this part of homesteading or farming or this because of blah, 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 blah. Right. But really the translation is they're saying, I just don't want to really work that hard. In some cases, they really can't do it. I mean, they just can't do it. Obviously, if you live in an apartment, you cannot plow 40 acres. No. You can't plant 40 acres. You can't, unless you rent it.
Unless they worked for a farmer.
Or you could rent that 40 acres.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. But we're talking about that oomph. How do you get that spark to do those things where you just don't want to do them? Or it's something that you're supposed to do and you want to do, but you just something happens and it takes the life out of you. So I used to work for a company called Get Motivated Seminars. I did video work for them. And my job was to set up interviews with people like Rudy Giuliani or Peyton Manning or Jerry Lewis or Gorbachev or George Bush. And I would set up these video interviews, and then questions would be asked of them of what it is that it took for them to get to these positions where they're at.
Right. And
so I wanted to share a few things with you that they were consistent on.
Okay.
And I teasingly call them the masters of the universe. The masters of the universe. The reason why is because these are the people in the top 1% of their field, whether it's politics or sports or comedy, whatever it is. And a few things that they all basically said in different pockets. Number one, fake it till you make it.
Jeez. Okay.
No lie.
Jeez.
Just keep going and play the part. Learn your trade, hone your craft, keep going. Don't stop. Even if
make mistakes. Make mistakes.
Making snakes.
Make mistakes. Or what it's trying to say is making mistakes.
No, they're saying fake it. Like act like you are all that.
Yes, fake it even though you have made mistakes. Keep faking it till you make it.
Right.
Which that just doesn't make sense.
That was one of the things they said. Act like you are that part, and then eventually you'll become that part.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what they were consistent with. And it didn't matter whether it was politics. It didn't matter whether it was basketball stars. Who's that hockey guy? Gretzky. He was the same thing. They all were saying kind of the same thing.
Well, it's...
That was only one of them. There's more.
No, I know that. There's just... I don't know if you guys have learned this about me in any way yet, but I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Isn't that true?
It's true.
When I'm sad, you know it. When I'm irritated and mad about something, you know it. And I can't fake it even on camera. It's really hard.
I think it's a learned skill.
Maybe.
I do. I mean, even Brooke Shields, like all of these people, they would say it in their own way. Like Kobe Bryant, they'd basically be like, sometimes you just can't put the ball where you want it, but you got to keep acting like you are all of that in a bag of chips. Or else people won't respect you. That was one of the things.
Okay.
Another thing that there was a book, I can't remember the author, but it was called Failing Forward. Failing Forward. And it goes together with the fake it till you make it kind of thing. And they basically, his whole premise was, you were going to make mistakes, but instead of getting knocked down and knocked out of the race, understand your mistake. And by doing that, if you understand it, you're failing forward.
Right.
What is it? Who's the guy? Light bulb guy. Can't think of his name. Edison. No. Yeah, it wasn't his attitude. Yeah. I haven't made a mistake. I've learned another way this doesn't work.
Right. Is it Edison?
I think so.
I'm really bad.
Well, and another one of the things...
I've only been out of school for a month, and I'm lost. No.
Well, another one of those things that they would say, that they constantly said, was, let me see, how can I don't know if I can put it into like a short nugget. Like, they always do like a blah, 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 and then there's your truth. They all have the same junk. Okay. But one of the things they would say is, be good at the things you're really good at and try to outsource everything else.
Oh, funny.
And it's not to be lazy.
Right.
It's to be like whatever, because like this one's hard for homesteaders and farmers because we're expected to wear 100 hats.
Right.
And we're expected to be good at 100 hats.
Right. Because you have to make your farm work or your homestead work.
Yep.
Otherwise you don't eat.
Right. So you got to know about cows, and you got to know about garden, and you got to know about soil pH. And if you don't, your crop's not going to be good.
Right. You have to be, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of all of them.
Yeah, master of all.
Right, because if you're not, then your family doesn't eat.
Well, I think it's different in those kind of career paths.
Yeah.
Like if you're in politics or sports, it's completely different than what we're doing.
Right. Well, in a sorry, stuttering there. And in a community, you can still kind of do that, if you have a community of homesteaders.
Yeah.
You can
link together.
You can link together. For those of you who are in a smaller homesteading community, you can link together. Okay, well, this guy does cows really well. Maybe I can trade some pork that I do really well for his cows that he does really well.
Right.
So, that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Right. And the way they put it to me was that you only have X amount of time during the day. Mm-hmm. And if let's say that you're okay, like a scale 1 to 10, let's go like this. Scale 1 to 10, your ability to inspire a group of people, if that's like a 9 or a 10, then you should focus like 90% of your effort in that, and then 10% of the other stuff, like the emailing or the collating papers or whatever that might be. Now, we can't really do that on farms and homesteads, but the principles are still there. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. So how do we stay motivated? Well, I think that what we have to do is look forward to realize the goal that's not yet there. And get up even when you don't want to. Yeah. Push yourself. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to do this. Okay, well, here's a little secret, guys. There are days that even though we love this crowd, even though we love doing this, there are days where we're just like, I'm so tired, I don't want to do the live stream.
Right.
Sometimes. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. But it's like, no, we got to do this. We owe it to you guys. You're building the community. We're part of that community. Right. We got to pick up and do our part.
Right.
And so when it comes to staying motivated, I think it's just something you have to actually just bend it around your head that, I'm just going to do it.
Right.
I know it's going to stink or whatever.
Or I'm going to have
just going to do it.
I'm going to have to fight with the kids so that they get their schoolwork done at a certain time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at, what did you see some of the comments? See if there's...
Okay, so adaptive maritimes, jack of all trades, master of none. A true master is never done learning. That is true. Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yep.
Today I was the master of laundry.
Ha! Yes, laundry master.
That is a win.
Yep.
I have. Okay.
Wait, who said that?
Old Glory Farm.
Old Glory Farm? For you deserve this. You are the master of laundry.
So, would you say I'm an organized person?
I would say, well, I'm gonna.
Lately,
I don't know.
Normally,
am I supposed to do this live?
No, you're not going to get in trouble. Come on now. Would you say I'm a relatively organized person?
I gotta go pee.
Oh.
No. Well, how much truth do you want me to tell?
Okay, forget it.
Okay, scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
10 being...
Most organized.
Like everything is
like
completely labeled
Kimmy.
and nothing's out of...
Kimmy, she's in her apron. She's 10.
Okay. And then 1 would be Jonathan's room. Jonathan's room when he lived here. That would be a 1. Right?
Yes.
I'd say that generally you're a 6. Ask for the truth.
No, I know. Okay, and
but it's getting better.
I try so hard.
It used to be a 4. No, it was never that bad.
No, it was never
really
that bad.
It was never that bad.
And as I get older, I try very hard. Okay, a lot of folks... Okay, how can I say this right?
I have no idea.
When I was a young mom, I was reading a book by the Ezzos called
Growing Kids God's Way.
But the book I read was Baby Wise. And I loved the way they set up their schedule for babies. But everything, you cannot use everything in their curriculum for every child because every child is completely different. But I like their schedule, the feeding schedule and the sleep schedule. It really helped our kids to sleep through the night faster. Kids thrive on routine and schedules, honestly. Not the kind that is to the minute, but it's generally, okay, in the morning, chores and breakfast, get dressed, shower in the morning, by a certain amount of time. I think that sorry, I was reading that.
I know I'm in the doghouse.
No,
with
you're
you guys.
really not.
With you
No,
guys.
you're really not. I have found that during the school year, if I stick to a routine, stuff actually gets done, and I am happier because I accomplished more.
May I say you're getting much better?
I am getting much better. I'm not to the Kimmy level in any way. And if she's watching, I love you dearly, kid.
Well,
so.
Well, and if you've ever seen like Japanese apartments.
Oh my gosh.
Where everything is exactly in the right spot and it cannot move.
Oh yeah, that's not my house.
The funny thing about that though is like I am completely OCD about that in some things, but then other things it can just be.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
So, I don't even know where I was going with all of that.
I
lost
actually
my
don't
train
know.
of thought.
Motivation.
Yeah. Okay, that was it. So when I stick to a routine, I set up, okay, this is going to work for me. I get up, I take a shower, I go milk the cow, I take my shower, I make the bed, that kind of stuff. I do things in a certain order and I know that they've gotten done, and that helps me stay motivated throughout the day. So that's where I was going with that.
Yeah. So share with each other if you guys have any ideas on how you stay motivated, because I know from chatting with a lot of you guys, I know some of the jobs you do, and I know some of the things that you have challenges with, and oh no,
What?
I'm sorry, Norm, you've just broken my heart here.
No.
Guitar Center's going out of business this year. Did not know. I did not know.
That's awful.
Oh boy.
But the good news is they're going to have lots of stuff on. Oh, wait, never mind.
No, they won't. No, they won't. It's funny because actually, this is ironic. Because we were working on the cookbook today, and I was writing out one of my recipes that I do. And at the end, I made some kind of sassy comment like, this recipe is like, bam, wow. You'll thank me so much that you'll want to go get me a Guitar Center gift card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I take payment in Guitar Center gift cards. You're going to have to change it to Sweetwater.
Yeah. I like Sweetwater better anyway.
Yeah.
They're just a lot more customer friendly, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, GC, no.
Yeah.
Bad, boom.
Well, and honestly, I think it's the online stuff that is putting these local stores out of business.
Well, Guitar Center's not a local store. They're a big chain.
Well, no, I know that it's not a local store, but I'm talking about local buildings. You know what I mean? These chain stores.
Right.
Where Sweetwater is an online thing.
It is.
Musician's Friend is an online
It is.
thing. So,
it is.
Which is Musician Friend still even
Yes,
in
they're
business?
one of the big. They're one of the biggest in the world.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, motivation. It's one of those things, guys, where you just got to do it. You just got to get your head screwed around the idea that, okay, I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I used to, I would tease that I should be a paid beta tester for all these equipment companies.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because when computer recording of audio and video became available where it was affordable for people to, like normal people to do it, it seemed like every dang thing you'd buy or every dang thing, your piece of software, it would make that break or this wouldn't work with that or that wouldn't talk with that. But I still had to get the records done.
Right.
I was still being paid by record companies to produce things. And so I had to just go, I'm going to figure it out. And you just put the time in, and if it's 4 a.m. and you just get it, well, then you start working.
Yeah. Yep.
So, anyway, I kind of think do you guys, the floor is open for questions. That's really what we wanted to talk about.
That one?
What was that one?
Just make a list.
Oh, Brent knows I make lists. I love making lists.
Well, yeah, that's another thing to help keep me motivated on getting things done is make a list. Mm-hmm. I made a list today.
I only got
one of those three things done today, but this one thing was huge, and we spent a majority of the day on it. So
yeah.
What, a good 6 hours? 6 hours?
Yep, and then there were 4 of us working on it, so it got over the half the cookbook done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which was a huge blessing. Okay, any questions? Or else
Thank you, Judy.
we will call it an evening.
I like what Judy said. That was
We'll read it out loud.
Well, Judy says, I like Christa the way she is. I like that she doesn't try and fake it. You know where you stand with her. That is very true.
It is very true.
You.
And don't mistake my for faking it. That's just who I am.
It really, truly is the way he is. He's, and you can ask, this is how we rock. You can ask Old Glory Farm. That's how he is.
I was born on stage, I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay. I guess that might be it.
Make a list, check it twice.
Yeah, with the guitars.
No, you can't put those on the list. No. You see all of this guitars over here, guys? Well, actually, you don't see all of them.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, too. If any of you is considering an early Christmas present for me, Guitar Center happens to be going out of business, so there'll be really great deals on, like, say, Charvel. Maybe, Charvel guitars.
What you guys don't see is my eye keeps twitching when he talks about that.
We're trying to save up money for a down payment on a home. The home.
Yeah.
The home. Yeah. Your brand of crazy is great. Thank you, Mary.
He is.
So, okay. Well, then I think we're going to call it an evening.
Yeah.
And, but before we do go, has Thrive ever sent a package UPS and sent it to USPS?
Yes, they have. The smaller ones, they send those through USPS. Well, they send them via UPS, and then they dump them off at the USPS places. At least in the I think in the rural
That's what they
areas.
do here.
That's what they do here for the smaller boxes. But the bigger boxes, they come UPS.
Hey, Jackie's from Rhinelander.
Hey, Jackie.
Hello, Jackie. Oh, we're gonna call it an evening, guys.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't know, we're a family of believers. We trust Jesus with our very souls. Mm-hmm. And we try to reflect as much as we can his life and how he's impacted us. And so we're going to end the live stream here with a prayer, but we also want to be respectful to those of you who may want to leave. Maybe that's not your thing, maybe whatever. And I just personally believe that Jesus doesn't go around trying to force himself on anybody. Nope. And so we're not going to try to do that to you. So if that's not you, we'd love for you to stay. But if not, we're getting ready to pray. So with that, you've been warned.
Right.
So here we go.
Bye, Felicia. Have a good night.
Bye, Felicia.
No, it's
no, I know.
Her name is Felicia.
I saw it. All right, Father God, we're coming for you today, and we're just so grateful for this community. And Lord, I just ask. I know everybody in this chat right now has different issues and different struggles and different challenges. And I would just ask, Lord, that you would make yourself evident in each one of those challenges. You want to help, and you're there. You did not and do not and will not leave us alone. You will not leave us forsaken, and that we can trust in you. We thank you, Jesus, for how you love us. It's in your holy and precious name we pray. Amen. Amen. All righty, kids. With that, I say goodbye.
Night.